The Galactic Council chamber was vast, spanning the length of a kilometer-long platform orbiting above the neutral planet Veyron. Alien species of every shape and color gathered there, their eyes, some literal, some metaphorical, fixed on the human delegation. The council was known for patience, centuries of debate, and a rigid code of etiquette. Yet today all of it seemed unnecessary. Humanity had come seeking one thing: acceptance. Admiral Cale Draven, the human leader, stood straight, shoulders squared and face calm. His uniform was simple, a navy blue accented with silver, practical yet commanding respect. Behind him were scientists, diplomats, and military officers. The humans had prepared for decades, refining their technology, mastering interstellar diplomacy, and spreading colonies across distant star systems. "Honorable counselors," Draven began, his voice steady, echoing through the chamber. "We come today not seeking dominance but partnership. Humanity has achieved what many thought impossible. Our colonies thrive on worlds previously considered uninhabitable. Our technology allows faster-than-light travel, sustainable energy, and medicine that extends life across decades. We wish to join the Galactic Council, contributing our skills for the betterment of all." There was silence. For a moment, it seemed as if the Council would applaud, recognizing the courage and progress of humanity. But then a ripple of whispers swept through the assembly. Counselors of the Solari species leaned toward one another, their translucent wings flickering nervously. The Gorthan representatives clicked their mandibles, a sound humans had learned was not friendly. Even the serene, jelly-like Malirians, usually reserved in expression, seemed unsettled. Finally, High Counselor Reth of the Arvok species spoke. His deep voice carried through the chamber. "Humanity," he said, each word deliberate. "Your ambition is notable, but your history shows unpredictability, impulsive expansion, and tendencies toward aggressive conflict. We cannot in good conscience allow such a species to join the Council at this time." A murmur of agreement, or relief, swept through the chamber. Humans exchanged glances. Draven's jaw tightened. He had expected resistance, perhaps even hostility, but not outright rejection. Admiral Draven, another counselor, a floating entity called Quarry, chimed. "Do you believe your species' rapid advancement is reason enough to justify membership? History, not potential, guides the Council's decisions." Draven met Quarry's gaze, unwavering. "History is written by those who endure. We endure, we learn, and we grow stronger." The vote was swift and unanimous. Humanity was rejected. The chamber erupted with whispers, some celebrating, others suspicious. Draven, however, said nothing. He gathered his delegation and exited the chamber. His face betrayed only calm determination. Back on Earth, the news hit like a shockwave. Across cities, colonies, and space stations, humans reacted in varied ways: anger, disappointment, but also resolve. Humanity had been underestimated, dismissed, and now had something to prove. In the weeks that followed, human scientists, engineers, and military strategists accelerated projects that had already been ambitious. Spacecraft design reached new heights, incorporating modular AI systems that allowed ships to adapt in real time to challenges. Propulsion systems, once theoretical, became reality, allowing humanity to traverse vast distances in record time. Colonies on distant planets showed what humanity could do when underestimated. Mars, once a barren red rock, now had thriving cities under protective domes. Oceans on Europa were being explored, and settlements on the rocky worlds of the Kuiper Belt were connected by high-speed transport networks. Every world they touched, humans adapted, learned, and thrived. Yet it was not only technology that grew. Human ingenuity and determination became legendary among neighboring alien worlds. Traders from minor systems began speaking of humans who solved problems others deemed impossible. Miners on icy moons reported humans creating machines that could extract resources safely where others failed. Scientists in orbiting labs marveled at humans devising energy systems that ran without waste. For the Galactic Council, this did not go unnoticed. Observers sent to monitor humanity's growth reported back with increasing concern. One report from a Gorthan scout read, "The humans, they adapt faster than predicted. Their colonies are self-sustaining. Their technology evolves in ways we cannot fully anticipate. If left unchecked, they may outpace several of our member species in less than a standard cycle." Council chambers that had once dismissed humanity now whispered anxiously. Some members, like the Arvok, argued privately that rejecting humans had been premature. Others, such as Quarry, were more cautious, fearing that human unpredictability could become a destabilizing force. Meanwhile, Admiral Dravin and his team worked quietly, almost invisibly. They explored a dark nebula at the outer edge of colonized space, seeking new energy sources and unknown resources. Here humans experimented boldly, deploying fleets and probes where no alien species dared, testing technologies that leveraged the strange physics of the nebula. One evening, aboard the flagship Resolute, Draven walked the observation deck. Stars shimmered beyond the hull, distant suns illuminating the faces of the crew. "We're being watched," said Lieutenant Mara Vex, one of his officers. She pointed to a series of faint blinking lights on the sensors. "Alien reconnaissance. They're curious. Nervous, I think." Draven nodded. "Let them watch. Let them see what humanity can do when not held back. Let them see that rejecting us was their mistake." In distant council chambers, the reaction was immediate. Councilors gathered urgently to discuss reports from the nebula. The pace of human expansion, the boldness of their experiments, and the speed at which they adapted to dangerous environments were alarming. High Councilor Reth, usually measured and calm, frowned as he read the latest intelligence. "They grow faster than we anticipated. Their fleets, their colonies. If this continues, they will surpass several of our member worlds in influence and capability. Perhaps," suggested another counselor, "we should reconsider our decision. Invite them to join before they become unmanageable." Reth shook his head. "It is too late for polite invitations. They do not need us. If anything, they may join on their terms. And then the balance of power in the galaxy will shift in ways we cannot predict." Back in human space, exploration continued. A team of human scientists landed on a remote ice planet, uncovering a network of natural energy crystals that could power entire starships without fuel. Colonies adapted advanced terraforming techniques, turning harsh landscapes into livable cities. But not all human initiatives were easy. In the dark nebula, the Resolute faced a powerful magnetic storm, one that could destroy a fleet if mismanaged. Crew members worked tirelessly, combining human intuition with AI-assisted calculations. Ships shifted, adapted, and survived where others might have perished, Draven observed from the bridge. "This is why they fear us," he said quietly to Mara. "Not because we are aggressive, but because we refuse to accept limits where others see them. Humanity thrives where others would fail." Even as humans celebrated successes, tension grew. A human scout fleet sent further into the nebula than any before suddenly vanished from communications. Panic spread briefly, but Draven remained composed. "We will find them," he said to his team. "They are out there pushing boundaries, learning, evolving. This is exactly what humanity does best." The disappearance sparked alarm in the Galactic Council. Reports were sent to every member species, warning that humans were operating at the edge of explored space. Bold, unpredictable, and untethered by tradition. For the first time, many counselors began to wonder if rejecting humanity had been the right decision. Humanity, however, was undeterred. They were learning, growing, and thriving without the need for approval. Colonies on the edge of space became symbols of human determination. Even hostile species began to send cautious observers, recording the humans' remarkable adaptation to harsh planets and extreme conditions. Human ingenuity was unmatched. Where alien species relied on rigid protocols, humans experimented, adapted, and learned from failure. A mining colony on a frozen asteroid invented a method to harness thermal vents for energy. Scientists on a desert planet discovered a way to purify water from thin air, sustaining life where none was thought possible. Every small victory built a larger reputation, spreading quietly across the galaxy. And yet, despite their accomplishments, humans remained modest. They did not flaunt power unnecessarily. They acted strategically, ensuring that their growth was sustainable, their colonies safe, and their people thriving. This blend of boldness and responsibility began to draw attention in unexpected ways. Weeks turned into months. Humanity's presence in space became impossible to ignore. The Galactic Council, once confident in their rejection, now faced a species that was advancing faster than anticipated, exploring regions previously deemed impossible, and demonstrating adaptability that few could match. High Counselor Reth convened a private session with senior advisors. "We dismissed them," he said gravely. We underestimated them, and now we may have to deal with the consequences. Quarry's floating form pulsed nervously. Do you suggest we invite them again, or are we already too late? The galaxy was vast, full of stars, planets, and dangers that even the oldest council members had never faced. Humanity, once rejected and dismissed, now moved quietly but steadily across the stars, spreading their colonies and fleets. Each day brought new discoveries, new challenges, and new opportunities to show the galaxy what humans could achieve. Admiral Cale Draven stood on the bridge of the flagship Resolute, staring at the maps displayed across the massive holographic screen. Red blips indicated enemy movements in the outer rim. An aggressive rogue alien empire known as the Vorthon were advancing rapidly. Systems that had once been considered safe now teetered on the brink of destruction. This is worse than expected, said Lieutenant Mara Vex, her eyes scanning data streams. They're moving faster than our estimates predicted. If the Council does not intervene soon, entire systems could fall. Draven nodded. Then we will intervene. We do not ask for permission. We act where humanity is needed. The Council, now aware of the Vorthon threat, scrambled to respond. Panic had replaced confidence. High Counselor Reth convened an emergency meeting with senior council members. Humanity, Reth said, his deep voice filled with uncharacteristic tension, has advanced beyond our calculations. Their colonies, their fleets, their technology, they are capable of influencing the outcome of this conflict. We have no choice but to seek their cooperation. Quarry floated near the chamber's edge, pulses of light flickering nervously. Do we trust them? They were rejected once. They operate independently without our oversight. Their methods, unpredictable. Reth's eyes narrowed. We have no time to debate. Humanity can save lives or entire sectors will be lost. We will offer limited cooperation, nothing more. Meanwhile, human fleets move swiftly. Using newly mastered propulsion techniques, they reached the outer rim faster than any council fleet could. The Vorthon had fortified multiple systems, expecting resistance, but they were not prepared for humans. On the icy world of Krylon 7, a small human strike team deployed with specialized ships capable of silent infiltration. Using innovative cloaking systems and adaptive AI guidance, they disabled Vorthon weapon platforms without firing a single shot. Humans are unpredictable, muttered Commander Trask, observing the operation through alien surveillance data. They don't fight like us. They adapt, change tactics instantly, and always seem one step ahead. By the time the Council fleets arrived, many systems had already been stabilized by humans. Council generals who had doubted humanity's reliability were forced to acknowledge the skill, intelligence, and bravery of the human forces. In orbit above the Vorthon stronghold on the planet Zorath, Admiral Draven addressed his fleet. Listen closely, he said, voice calm but commanding. The Vorthon rely on predictable strategies. They underestimate creativity, speed, and adaptability. That is our advantage. We strike smart, fast, and precise. We save lives while minimizing destruction. The human fleet moved with precision. Ships weaved between asteroid fields, used energy fields to mask their approach, and deployed drone swarms to confuse the enemy. Entire Vorthon fleets were trapped in ambushes carefully designed by human tacticians. Council observers watching from their distant stations were stunned. This is beyond any tactics we have known, whispered High Counselor Reth. Humanity is not just capable, they are extraordinary. As the battle raged, humanity demonstrated another trait that would earn them admiration across the galaxy: compassion. While destroying enemy fleets, humans prioritized civilian safety. Entire cities were evacuated, refugees were assisted, and resources were provided to rebuild damaged colonies. This balance of strength and ethics was something few alien species had achieved. One Vorthon commander, captured during the campaign, was surprised. Why do you protect civilians? We assumed you would strike without mercy. Draven looked at him, calm and unwavering. Strength without responsibility is destruction. Humanity does not seek conquest. We act to survive, to grow, and to protect those who cannot protect themselves. That is the way we lead. Word of human action spread quickly. Across council systems, alien diplomats whispered. Humanity, once dismissed as reckless and dangerous, had become indispensable. Their tactics were innovative, their ethics uncompromising, and their results undeniable. High Counselor Reth convened another emergency session. We have miscalculated, he admitted, addressing the chamber. Humanity has saved countless systems, They have prevented the Vorthan from gaining control of strategic points. We must offer them membership or at least formal recognition. We cannot continue without them. Quarry pulsed nervously. Do you think they will accept? After we rejected them? Reth hesitated. Perhaps they will choose terms we cannot dictate. Either way, we must act. On Earth, in the Central Command of the United Human Space Authority, Admiral Draven received a communication. It was the Council formally requesting a meeting. Draven read the message aloud to his officers. They asked to meet. After everything, after we have proven ourselves, they now want our cooperation. They do not ask, they request, Maravek smirked. Finally, they realize that humanity cannot be ignored. But do we trust them? Draven shook his head slowly. Trust is earned. We do not forget rejection. We do not give ourselves away. If we join, it will be on our terms. Humanity has proven its worth. Now we decide what we will accept in return. The meeting took place on neutral ground, aboard the orbiting station of Veyron. The council chamber, once cold and imposing, now felt different. The humans entered confidently, aware of their growing reputation and strength. High Counselor Reth greeted them formally. Admiral Draven, humanity, you have exceeded every expectation. Your fleets, your tactics, your compassion, it has changed the galaxy's perception of your species. We underestimated you. Draven's expression remained calm. Counselor Reth, the galaxy is not ours to dominate, nor is it yours. We act where needed. We build where we can. Recognition is earned, not granted. Now you seek our cooperation. What do you offer? The council debated in whispers. Alien diplomats used to setting terms for newcomers now found themselves negotiating on human conditions. Humanity requested transparency in council decisions, respect for independent colonies, and inclusion as equals, not subordinates. The council, recognizing their mistake, had little choice. Humanity's role in stabilizing the Vorthon conflict was undeniable. They agreed to the terms, granting humans full membership with respect for their autonomy. In the weeks that followed, humanity's influence grew. They introduced innovations to council systems, new energy grids, improved defense protocols, and advanced medical technologies. Their colonies became hubs of learning, exploration, and trade. Alien species, once skeptical, began to consult humans for advice, not orders. Even the Vorten, once the feared enemy, were forced to respect human capabilities. They realized that humanity's strength did not lie only in firepower but in intelligence, adaptability, and moral clarity. Admiral Draven stood again on the bridge of the Resolute. Looking at the galaxy that now recognized humanity, Maravex joined him, smiling quietly. They're finally seeing us, she said. Not just as humans, but as equals. Draven nodded. We never sought approval. We only sought to prove ourselves. And humanity has done so. Now the galaxy understands what we have always known. We belong here not by permission, but by merit. Stars stretched endlessly before them. Humanity's journey had been fraught with challenges, but their perseverance, courage, and creativity had earned their place among the stars. The Council, once dismissive, had learned that underestimating humanity was a grave mistake. And in the quiet reaches of space, humans continued to explore, invent, and adapt. Their light, bright, determined, and unwavering, shone across the galaxy. Not as conquerors, but as pioneers, protectors, and leaders. Humanity had arrived. The galaxy would never underestimate them again.